Welcome to Real Talk Savannah. We have a great guest. We have Renee. I'll just let you tell everything that you do. We'll talk about Soberish October, but I want to talk about the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on.
Of course.
So cool. We were talking to each other, I guess about like a week or so ago.
We just took a walk in the park.
Just took a walk.
Yeah.
But yeah, Renée Adams, co-founder of Nosedive Co. We're a wellness brand really focusing on numbing less and living more. And that's kind of where we started our conversation.
Yeah.
So
we had a lot to talk about. I don't know, with my other podcast a couple of years ago, I did like 60 days where I just took a break from alcohol and really I ate healthy. I was a complete shift.
Yeah.
And it was just a mind and body cleanse. Yeah. So that's what we talked about. That's what this is really about. It's not like drinking is bad or whatever. It's pretty much doing anything to numb.
Yes.
And one of the important things that we talked about, like on our walk in the park, where we were saying it's not only alcohol. We are doing sober, you are doing the Soberish October. But like sometimes we'll shift that addiction or that into numbing. Some people work out too much to not, like there's so many ways to do it. So that's what I love what this mission is about really processing things that, make us uncomfortable or hurt or, all the things we carry from most of the time our childhood.
Yes. Yeah. It always comes back to childhood.
It really does.
Yeah. It's like a holistic approach. There's not just like one way to do things. We don't say that alcohol is bad. It's really around getting to the root of what it is you want out of life. And a lot of the times you can't do that if you are numbing. So if, like you said, social media, workaholism, and I think alcohol,
sometimes food, sometimes working out. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And like, I think alcohol really is just the biggest factor, especially when it comes to like socializing, getting to the next tier in the corporate level. I think there's just a lot of misconceptions when it comes to alcohol and how that equates to being successful.
Yes. And now, even though weed is considered more of the natural, my mother's an ER nurse and she says that everyone in Savannah is addicted to, she feels that way because she's a nurse.
So
and
people are that a lot.
Yes. Yeah. And she said that there's a major issue with overdoing and it's numbing.
Extremes.
It's extreme.
Yeah.
These, people who are smoking so much weed, it's messing with the lining of their stomach and their lungs. Like if you think about it, smoking anything is terrible and inhaling anything. So mom says that people are coming through the ER because they're smoking to the point of numbing. Yeah. And it's messing up their body. So too much of anything is a bad thing. So I think I love this idea of the Soberish October, but I want to get back. I want to get to tell the name of the company because I want to get to what you did to start this. I love it.
Yeah. So Nosedive Co. How we came about Nosedive is really the premise of like going head first, diving head first into the unknown and the things that make you uncomfortable. Because when we create these spaces with one another where we can connect with one another on an authentic level, I think we're really surprised at the fact that you don't need these other things and other substances to live our best lives.
Right.
To really uncover that.
Look how much we clicked from a walk in the park for an hour.
It was so lovely. You're able to really enthrall all of your senses. And when you're numbing and when you're like just afraid to feel, I think that's something that we've seen when working with clients and working with people.
Right.
We are afraid to dive into those emotions and really feel those emotions. And it's about integrating those things into our lives instead of like resisting and putting it off. Because, when you push that shit down, it's going to come up
at some point. Usually at the wrong time on the wrong person or whatever the case may be.
That's right.
No, I love this so much. And I think that like when you start to deal with those things, it ends up being freeing, but you do have to dive into it and deal and get through that. And it's not fast and easy process.
No, and I think what we like to do too is like create a space that is not recovery based, because I think that's also,
we talked about this. I love this conversation
because I think that's what really deterred me from my own journey of looking at my relationship with how I was numbing with alcohol. Is like, one, I didn't have a problem. So I was like, hey, A is not really the space for me. Like, I want the 12
And I know that some people, we talked about this in the park.
Yeah.
I know that it has worked for some people, but you knew the exact percentage. Like it's
something like a 7%.
Only 7% success rate with AA. So like,
and that's not to take away, like, there are some
their mission is great. Yes.
Recovery.
Which at the end of the day, a lot of the people that survive it is because they take advantage of the community that it offers with the sponsorship, which is really having someone to hold yourself accountable. So that's really like what you're doing with this. It's just more community driven rather than recovery.
It's really that like space in between where you don't really feel like you have a problem necessarily. Like AA and recovery space is not really for you, but you know that you want to change your behaviors in some way, and you just don't really know how to do that. It's like the weird purgatory in between of not really knowing how to take the next step to live a more like,
and it's not such one lane. Sorry for the background noise, everybody. It's not just one lane. Like so I went through a phase where I did meditate and journal every morning. I have kind of shifted, and now I do a full glass of lemon water and I sit still. I'm not meditating. I'm not doing breath work anymore. And that, for me, that time is the same. I get the same amount. I'm not putting caffeine in my body. I'm putting water first. And that is my way. I think it's just like a way of you to care for yourself. And that's really what this is about, is what, and that may shift and that may change.
Absolutely. And it should, and it will. And that's like our foundation is life, and all of this is an experiment. So what works for you may not work for somebody else, but being and creating that space for one another to play, to have fun, and to really understand one another, to see what is going to work for you. It's all data points.
Right. And I'm not a big yogi. Like I love Pilates. I like a little more movement and resistance, more exercise than I do. You know, yoga's not my thing. And I have dear friends that both teach yoga and go to yoga, and it's really been therapeutic for them in their journey. But so I love like that you're creating a space where people can share what's working for them, and it's not so one lane.
Well, and it's like a jumping point. You know, it's not the end all be all. It's not like, okay, I'm removing alcohol from my life and now everything's good. It's like the jump off, the catalyst of like, okay, what is going to work for me? And when you're in the space in the community, to get ideas to see what is going to work for you. So like what you're saying with Pilates, movement has been huge for me just in my life in general. And I think that's a part of it, is just incorporating these things.
We hold stuff in our body.
Oh my gosh. So much like trauma. And, you know, we could get into like all the somatic stuff and work that you could do.
There's so much, and that's what's the beauty of it, is it's not just one way. So tell how you left. So she was in a corporate job. So go back to you left to do something on your own years back, and you gave up, and then you went back to corporate.
Yes. So funny enough, and this is why it's like the notion that what's meant for you is not going to miss you, because I was in a corporate job for 7 years, was making great money. You know, kind of the stereotypical kind of went to college, graduated, So was in that job for 7 years, quit, wanted to become a personal trainer. Did that for about 6 or 7 months, got really scared because I started to doubt myself and began drinking a lot more. So I was drinking something like 15 to 20 drinks a week, if not more than that, and really just getting and digging myself into a hole. Wound up back in corporate, been there for about
because there's a lot of anxiety that comes with building a clientele.
Absolutely.
And the stress of, you know, having a steady paycheck and then relying on others to book your services. And then when you're putting drinking on top of it, drinking also causes anxiety. Yes, it'll numb, but then that makes the anxiety so much worse.
I was spiraling. And I also didn't have a community, nor did I do the foundational work to where I was mentally prepared for what it means to go off on your own and be an entrepreneur. So,
and same thing happened to me. I did it. I had a business burn down and I was sued. And then I went back to working. And then I went back to working for others. So it's perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal to go through these. And that's why I wanted to put that out there, is like, people don't just hand business. There are people who have the withal, like have the finances, or have someone to financially back them, or have some inheritance or some trust or something. I did not have that. And I still meet people all the time who have that money and that backing and still give up, because there's a whole other part to owning a business. So no one's alone in that fear. And sometimes you do give up and go back, and then you realize, so then let's go to where you are now, where you were in corporate once again for how many years?
For just over 3 years.
And you still had that itch and passion.
Still had the itch and passion. After 3 years, I was like, wow, I feel the exact same as I did at my last corporate job. So I'm like, okay, I don't have these ideas for no reason. There is something here. And when I finally let go of, okay, corporate is security, corporate is what I'm meant to do. And when I let go of that control and was like, you know what? I'm trusting myself in this. I'm going full 100% full send into this. Let's see what happens. I can always have some kind of fallback because I've done that, So yeah, quit my job. And now I'm going full send.
Which is
Nosedive.
Yeah,
so scary.
Which is so scary. But I'm so glad that you are sharing the emotions that come with it, because it's not easy, and it's not going to be.
No.
And most businesses, if you look up, no matter what type of business it is, some restaurants even harder.
Yeah. Mortar is like,
so hard. Yeah. It's usually about 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an average.
And I think the more consistent that you can become emotionally resilient through this, and no matter what, hold on to that vision, because stuff is going to change, stuff is going to shift. How you start your company may not look the same by the end of it. More than likely.
Mine looks entirely different.
Yeah. You're always going to want to shift. You're going to want to change. But I think the biggest piece of advice is to take that action. You can sit and read books all day about it. You can sit and ask people questions about it all day. But until you take that step for yourself and trust and take that action towards your goal, then nothing's going to happen.
So what has happened so far? I know you're like newly into leaving, starting this up. I love that it's called Nosedive, because you're also nosediving into Nosedive.
Yeah.
So what good positive has come so far? Like, what if you're like, okay, I feel like I'd made the right decision? Like, what I asked this because my why was always there. I had a very crazy week where my account was hacked, my car was stolen. There was a cashier's check of a lot of money that was lost by my landlord, and all at the same time. So all of mine was financial in a week, and I have to remember why I'm doing this. And I was oddly calm because I've been through a lot in my business. So it's not like I just have everything figured out and nothing happens. Shit happens.
Yes, absolutely.
So, every time every time there's like a tornado going around me, it's the way it feels like when all this, uncontrollable chaos that happens with the business. There's always something really good that old me would not have paid attention to. A client that came in that wanted to feel better. She was having a bad day. She got a spray tan to feel better. There's just different little things. Someone who I taught how to spray tan who had their first win with their business. Those are the wins that I focus on. Now, are they wins that are $1 million wins? No, but they are the why and why I do what I do.
100%.
And I wouldn't change it for the world. So like, what have you had, just so far that are just like, okay, I'm moving in the right direction. This is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah. I think people have talked a lot about like calming their central nervous system, which is a huge thing. And for me, just the weightlessness that I have felt since quitting my corporate has just been so nice for me. But then also the connections that I'm making with people is like, it lights me up. Like hearing other people's stories, amplifying other people's stories, to understand where other people are coming from. And then you can make those connections, but also using these trials and tribulations and challenges as tests and lessons.
Yes.
That is I think one of the biggest takeaways for me through this process, especially still so early on, is when those thoughts start to creep in of like, oh shit, what am I doing? What did I get myself into? Using that to reframe and be like, no, this is my trust muscle. Thank you, body, for being worried for me. I understand you. I see you.
Because it's a real muscle. It's a real subconscious thing that will always be there, and you've got to talk louder than it.
For humans.
I mean, it can be crippling. It has been, I still have a reactionary nervous system for sure. Like we could even, I'm not going to go into it, but there's like a lot of childhood stuff and reason for that.
Yeah.
However, what I'm reacting to now is far less. I'm far less as reactive as I used to be, but things that I used to react to and get such in a tizzy over are nothing. So just like you have to use your muscles you have to build yourself up no matter what you do. Like when I was doing pole dance classes, what I did the first day was way different than what I did the last day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I you go through bruises. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I did it for Dance with the Stars and I had to do it. But yeah, it was crazy. But what I did the first day, it's the same exact thing with mentality, your nervous system, your mind, your mind and your thinking with owning a business.
Yeah.
The things you worry about. And I see it all the time with my spray tan partners.
Yeah.
Like they come on and they're so worried about the logo and they're worried about what they should charge and when they should open. And oh my gosh, are they going to have to see a penis? Because people get naked. Literally I've trained hundreds of girls and they're like, what do I do? What do I do when a guy comes? I'm like, it happens like 1% of our clientele is clientele. And the men that come are usually harmless. They come with their wives or, they're very metro or gay. So it's like,
but they're real fears.
But it's real fear because they haven't processed that part of it yet. And now I'm just like, come on, whip it out.
Yeah.
So I'm in a whole different level of the business. I'm trying to be funny, but it literally is like when you hear hundreds of girls that you're teaching how to spray tan, all with these like similar fears. And then you watch them 1 year in, and then we watch them 2 years in. So I'm really like lucky with my life that I see people starting business, even with real estate. I'm a diehard commercial realtor. I've done residential, but my heart and soul is in commercial because I'm dealing with business owners. So I love watching them grow and find a space. We're going to have somebody on later who couldn't find a space. We had to find her a kitchen to rent, which
girl, you make it work.
So I didn't make any money in real estate, but because we didn't actually end up finding her a space.
Yeah.
But I was able to help her find a place to start.
Yes.
And so the things that you worry about in the beginning are totally different. So understanding that and exercising your brain as much as you do the business and the checklist and it's at the top of the list when you're starting a business or starting anything new.
Well, and the more you do, the better you're going to get at it. Like you said, with anything, any kind of expertise, you don't start as an expert. If you're trying to learn a language, you're not going to know French right off the bat. You're going to have to work at it. You're going to have to practice at it. And it's the exact same thing. The quicker you fail and the more that you do, the quicker you will get to that success.
Right.
So the faster you fail,
and
quicker
and pat yourself on the back for the wins. A lot of times we're so focused on what's going wrong, we're not even noticing what we're doing right.
Yes. To slow down enough. And that's another thing too, is like giving yourself the time and the space to slow down enough to really be like, yes, I'm doing the damn thing, but also like, what is it that I really want? So we say that and give that advice for people who are starting to remove like the numbing substances is like, okay, wait, let me just pause for 1 second. And what is it that my body really needs right now? Like, do I just need a nap? Am I hangry? When was the last time I had any kind of water or anything?
Nourishing your body. Yeah. It's mind, body, soul. It's so important. So that is what Nosedive is about. It's a community. Do they join the community? How?
Yeah. So right now we're actually in a pivoting phase ourselves where we are going to focus more on our podcast, really amplifying the voices, other people's
And the name of the
stories.
podcast is Nosedive. I love it. Okay.
Yeah. So
I just want to make sure that the listeners listening know where to find you with that.
Yeah.
And then if you just want to see what it's about, about and join one of
Yes, we're doing a wellness challenge.
Yeah.
So we're doing a wellness challenge, which will continue to do that. Soberish October is coming up. You can find us at nosedive-co.com. We do still work with clients one-on-one too. So if you are feeling kind of stuck, whether that's like just getting to the gym, starting your business, wanting to remove these numbing substances to kind of get to the next level and up level, even if you're in corporate still, we do take one-on-one clients as well. So, and
some people, you may have just moved here. This is really why I wanted to have you on the podcast. Like, I love Savannah. I want everyone in Savannah to know what's here for them. Yep. If you're new to Savannah, you're struggling. I think when people are in their 20s, like leaving college or even in college, there's like I have a 24-year-old son, so I'm speaking from just my situations with him. He moved to Atlanta, and there was a year of like a lonely year where he was like, isolated. Because when you're in high school, you're forced to be with those people every day. And then like there's at 24, it's like some people are doing this. Some people have already started jobs. Some people are still in school. Some people were delayed in what everyone kind of scatters in their 20s, and it's very lonely. And then sometimes you move to a new place and you're in your 30s, and it's different than making friends when you're in your 20s.
That's right. Yes.
So that's what I was really wanted to point out on the podcast was if you're in Savannah and you're new here, there are communities like this that are good. I bartended for 12 years of my life. Yes, I made a lot of I bartended for 12 years of my life, and I made a lot of friends. But if I had just stayed in that atmosphere, meaning like we were drinking hardcore every night. So while we were working, it was at the end of our shifts. It was just the culture of it. A lot of us have steered away from it and have drink less and work out. And we've had to like change our mindset. But if you're here, yes, there are a lot of ways to socialize in Savannah, but I think this is really a really healthy way to meet a group of people that have a healthy mindset. And I think this is necessary. This is a necessary group. So that's why I wanted to, and this for all ages.
All ages.
I just think like when you're new to an area, it's harder to make friends.
Yeah. Totally.
As an adult. So
yeah.
What is happening? What is that? Oh, God. Okay. Well, we might have to wrap it up soon. Well, if that's up to the thing would work. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's super important.
Let's talk about Sober October before we wrap up this podcast. There's a lot of background noise, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's super exciting for us. We're hosting a sober or sober-ish, we like to say, October challenge. It's 31 days. We have 3 life group coaching calls. So there's a registration of $150. If you type in Friends40 for all of your listeners, you get $40 off.
Oh, heck yeah. So Friends40. Okay.
Yep. And it's going to be a really fun time to just connect with people who are going through something similar. You're wanting to reduce alcohol, remove alcohol. You don't have to be sober for this. It's just a time
shift. It's like some little healthy shift where you're being good to yourself, and
absolutely
you can be a part of the movement, the community.
Be part of the movement. We've got so many amazing resources. You've got myself and Mara as your coaches to navigate this. We'll have,
and so they can find the website at Nosedive Co.
Nosedive-co.com.
Okay.
Yep. And you can sign up there. And if you have any questions at all, you can obviously DM me on Instagram. It's at Coach_Radams.
Okay.
And then you can follow us at Nosedive Co as well on Instagram. And then it's super exciting. So we partnered with a lot of different non-alc brands, where we're going to have a $400 prize pack at the end. So with your registration fee, you're entered to win that prize pack.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I am very excited about it. I hope to bring a lot of listeners, a lot of my clients with Beettan, a lot of my, I've told the brokerage that I work at now that I do my commercial real estate under. And I think I'm excited to watch you grow and see what comes of this. And I also want to have you on again after Sober October. So maybe let's regroup November, December and have you on again.
Absolutely.
And I love it. And I'll come visit you on your podcast.
Yes.
We've got a lot of cool podcasts and a lot of people doing cool shit in Savannah. You're one of them. So I love that you took the time this morning to come on and talk about what you're doing. And I can't wait to follow up.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the time.
All right. Till next time.